Welcome, everyone, to a premiere edition of Unexplained Cases Medium. Myself, Rick Garner. As usual, we're turning this into an Unexplained Cases Sunday, and Maryam is joining us again. So welcome, everybody.
Hi.
So we've been talking about this idea for a little bit because we get so many cases that, frankly, we've kind of got stashed away, and we'll actually talk about that a little bit later on about what we have featured today. But what are your thoughts about what we're going to launch into today, Mary?
Well, we are going to be doing a bunch of things. We're going to pack in as much as we can in this hour. We're going to open with a pick a card reading for all of you guys watching. We are going to move into our case file for today, which we pre-recorded, but we'll be obviously in the chat answering any questions you guys have. And then after that, I'll be answering your questions. So you can submit your question in the comments, love, career, all that stuff. It's always going to be best if your picture is in your profile. So that way, when Rick posts your question up on the screen, I can see your photo. I always work best that way. I also take pet questions. What we'll do with pet questions is I'll have you guys email me, and I'll have you send pictures of your pet, and we'll set it up for next week. If you don't get your questions answered this week, you'll also be able to email in your question, and we'll see if we can get to it for next Sunday. So I'm going to start with a general pick a card reading, and some of you guys have seen me on TikTok or Instagram. I'm going to have you pick a card, okay? But this time we'll be able to go a little bit more into detail, so it's not so fast. TikTok only have a minute to talk, so I want to be able to give you guys some more time. So let's start. We've got 3 cards. Here we go. So you can do one of 2 things. You can ask a question in your mind first, or just have this be general. So just take a deep breath, and as you're feeling that deep breath, let that card number pass through, okay? Don't think with your mind. Don't get caught up in, oh my God, what if I picked the wrong one? Just relax and feel which card feels like is drawing you in, okay? And sometimes this takes practice, but we'll see how this goes. All right, so here we go. Card 1, card 2, card 3, card 1, 2, 3. All right, so for those of you that chose card 1, card 1. So it's important that you understand. I don't read with male, female, masculine energy, female energy. We all have it. Okay. So it doesn't matter if I'm saying masculine, feminine. I'm not necessarily saying man, woman, right? I'm just referencing the energy of that person, or maybe even your energy. So we've got card 1. There's this desire, there's this waiting, this hoping, this wondering. Just, it's like you have filled your cup and you're waiting to see if this is going to be everything that you thought it was going to be, if this was going to be what you hoped it would be, if this would emotionally give you what it is you're looking for and wanting. And there's this waiting period, and everything looks like it's going to be moving in the direction that feels good to you. And I say that because sometimes when things don't go as planned, we perceive that as bad or wrong or mistakes, and that's not the case, right? So this is about feeling like we are moving, what we've built and what we've created and what we're kind of waiting for emotionally is going to give us that fulfillment that we've been looking for. There's just going to be a little bit of a waiting period before you really see that come to fruition, before you really feel that take place. But everything that you have created is going to show itself and give you that satisfaction you were looking for. Okay, card 2. Card 2. Let's see what we got for card 2. Card 2, you kind of feel like you're over. Like there's something you're done. You're over it. I'm feeling like you guys are like I've tried, whether it's work or love or something. You're like, I keep trying and it never works. It's not happening. It's not working for me. Why isn't it working for me? I keep planting these seeds. I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing and it's not turning out right. And so there's this sense of just kind of defeat, but yet there's this defeat within opportunity and success. Like I'm feeling like you guys are defeated, yet there's things still happening and moving for you. It's not like everything has failed. It's not like you're in this awful predicament and everything has just crumbled around you. It's more of just simply your attitude and more of simply like you just feeling like poor me and why always me, or how come it doesn't happen for me, or what about me? Do you hear that common theme there? Me. So get out of yourself for a minute, okay? Meditation, exercise, go give back, go help someone who needs help. Get your mind off of you for a minute because you actually have some things, people and opportunity and work or school that's actually going well for you. And you're just not choosing to see it or experience it because you're in this mindset of just poor me. Okay, so let's pull out of that. Okay, so card three, you have just been at it. You have been like head down, whether it's studying or building, studying, building. Like you have just been really focused and really determined and really excited to finish this thing that you've created. And you're almost done. You're almost done. And of course, you're starting to get anxious and nervous. Will it be successful? Will it be what I want? Will it be what others want? Will this work? And yes, it looks really good. It looks like it has everything that you could, and it's got so much potential. Keep that focus though. Don't let your anxiety pull you out of it. Keep that focus. Stay centered. Stay driven, and know that when you've kind of put the last puzzle piece in place, you'll be able to see the big picture clearer and you'll be able to see your opportunity better. Okay, there we go. That's your general pick a card for today.
Awesome. And of course, you've been doing that on your TikTok for quite a while right now.
I have.
Just out of curiosity, like,
excuse me, yeah.
For everyone else, because may not be familiar with that technique, basically, is there any type of like origin, genesis, backstory, basically, to that folks might be curious about?
God, that's a great question. Honestly, I have no idea. What's so crazy is I saw a psychic do it on YouTube a year or two ago, and I was like, well, that's a trip. I mean, it tripped me out even. And I was like, wow, because it was really effective and she was really spot on. And so I thought I don't know who started it. I'm actually curious myself, like where it came from and who started it. But there's so many psychics that do it, and it works really well.
Awesome. Well, and something else, I guess we mentioned earlier, and this has been particularly just kind of a joy to have folks be able to reach out via a variety of social channels and need some help about solving a question that they have that they just wanted to get some insights on. So we've been recording those along the way and being able to release them. So tonight, for this afternoon show, I'm mixing my shows up here. That's what happens when you have an Unexplained Cases Sunday. We actually had Beth Huffman reach out to us, and she had a picture that she'd taken at a hotel in Amarillo, Texas, and was really curious about what that was and if we could offer any insights on that. And so we've got that video. So for folks who are curious about what we're doing today, we're going to get to that in a few moments. But tonight, we do still have Unexplained Cases live, and we do have a special interview. So I'm going to see if anybody recognizes a name before they actually hear a voice and see something, because it may look familiar to them.
Coming home from work, deadbolting the door and going upstairs, and as soon as I got upstairs, you know, we heard bang. I looked out and the door was open, but it had the deadbolt still sticking out.
Now, I don't know if anybody recognizes that documentary, but if you've seen it, it should actually hit home for you too, and that's the House in Between. And so Alice Jackson is going to be joining us tonight, and so I've gotten the impression that you've been rather intrigued about remote viewing that location, Maryam.
Yeah, I am really like tripped out by this house and what's going on. I haven't done any research because, as a lot of psychics and mediums, they don't like to research prior because it can start kind of mess with your head. You want to come in with a really clear, clean slate without knowing much of anything. But this house is such a trip. Like I was already feeling the energy of it. It was just like the other night, and I was like, wow, I don't know what's in there, but it just feels like a vortex of crazy.
Well, maybe that
vortex of crazy.
Maybe that could be a subheading. You know, can tell Kindle and all of them, like, you know, subheading for it, basically a vortex of crazy. You know, so or maybe that's a sequel.
Insane.
It could be a sequel.
I know. So that's tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. right Eastern. I'm doing the math in my head on my phone. Yes. Unexplained Cases live. So come back, you guys, in a few hours and check that out. In the meantime, we're going to share with you Beth's story, and then when we come back, we're going to answer your questions in the comments. So just drop a line, and we will jump on your questions, and we'll see you on the other side.
And before we do that, though, you know, I have to actually drop this particular comment in there because I thought that you'd appreciate that from Tim.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
See, so
I work very hard at it. So thank you.
See, it's always good to give props there, basically. So all right, so let's get on to let's get on to the episode with Beth.
Okay, you ready, Beth?
I am.
All right. So I looked at this picture really quickly right before we got started.
Because it was so amazing.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm just grabbing some crystals.
That's fine. Okay. But that building is it's got at least. I don't want to take this.
Okay.
It's got a couple to it in there, yeah.
So I think that my question was, what did you feel? No, that's okay. What did you feel or experience when you took this picture? Like, what was that moment like for you?
It was okay. We were all heading to go back downstairs. I was at the back of the line. I can't even remember how many people were with that group. They were already going down to the staircase, and something just said, "Take a picture." I didn't see anything in the hallway when I took the picture. There was nothing there. There wasn't any kind of anything. So, but something just said, just snap a picture.
Okay.
Because there was definitely nothing that I saw with my eyes in that hallway.
Okay. How long? I'm sorry, you said this was 12 years ago you took this picture?
Yes, because I told him 10, but when I started thinking about it, that was my first investigation with this team. So,
okay.
It was 12.
So, let me just give me a sec. Let me see if there's anything I can do to. We've got. Okay, so the reason why she was asking me to ask you about your experience was she wanted to make sure you heard her, because she was the one that told you to take the picture. And so, yeah, so I'm telling her now, yeah, she heard you. That's why she took the picture. Okay, so now she's getting a little frantic, and she's saying, people need to know, people need to know, people need to know what happened here. People need to know what happened here. And her mother is saying to her, it doesn't matter anymore, it doesn't matter. But she's saying, no, people need to know what happened here. She's really disturbed, and she's really uncomfortable, and she's really, it's like she's not scared yet. There's like that right before the actual fear, like this anticipation, anxiety. And mom is saying, mom wants her to move on. Mom hasn't been able to move on either, because she's been waiting for her and wanting her to resolve this. So what do we need to do to resolve this? What is it? I see her angels, and they're like guardians, because they have been actually protecting her, because other entities are trying to, it's almost like other entities are trying to get to her and like hurt her or mess with her, or influence her. And these angels are saying, no, allow her to have this experience. It's not for you to mess with and warp. And so I'm asking her angels, what can we do to help her, so that what can we do? What can we do? So what we can do is tell her story. What we can do is tell her story. She wants her story told. She's saying something about a bonnet, or maybe I heard the word bonnet, but maybe it's hat. She really wants to make sure people know what happened here. Okay, so if I make sure, I'm talking to her now, if I make sure that we tell this story, what is it that what is so important? She's saying murder, she's saying death, there's things that were covered up, there's wealthy people who came in and hurt other people, never got in trouble for it, were never acknowledged for it, others were blamed for it. And I know because my father was involved. I'm asking if your father, mom doesn't want too much information revealed, but the daughter's like, dad was involved. He was involved. It seems like he was a bad guy. Now mom's kind of getting involved and saying, I don't want this revealed. So she wants her father to just be at peace and allow him to have move forward. Okay, so dad's moved on. And so what we tell now is not going to influence your father's or your husband's transition. He's actually the only one that's redeemed himself and moved on from this. So it's really up to you guys right now. If the daughter feels she needs to speak and tell this story, then let her. It's not going to, there's no way we're going to be able to piece things together and people together. No one's going to get in trouble. This is long gone. This is long over. I'm explaining this to the mother. I think it's fair that you allow your daughter some peace, and you allow her to speak and say what she needs to say so that she can move on, if that's what you want, because you said you've been around watching her because you love her, or you around watching her because you don't want her to say something that could hurt the reputation, which is why you're still stuck, Mom, because you're still concerned about what others think, and your daughter is just trying to resolve something. I'm asking her angels to remove Mom. I don't think Mom is serving her. I think Mom is acting as a block. I'm going to ask that she's removed. It's not right what you're doing to your daughter. So hang on, she's not moving willingly. I'm asking for you to remove her. I've been asked to be in charge. You've allowed me to come in and speak, so now I'm asking for you to remove the mother. If you want me to help her do this, then you have to remove the mother. Okay, so I may have to deal with mom later on. Mom's gonna come back after me. Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with her later. So let's resolve this with the daughter. We're just gonna kind of recap. Her father was involved. There was murder. There was lots of money laundering. There was high-end people that set up these killings. I say that word's a little too heavy. I don't know that it was mass killings. It was people that were quietly taken out. This isn't like a serial killer situation. This is okay. So now I'm being told that there was more than one. Okay, so there may have been a serial killer situation separate from this, what we're talking about. That's separate. But this situation with the daughter, to help her move on, is dad did bad things, lots of money involved, covering up these things. People were thrown in prison that shouldn't have been. It's even like they're saying a race thing where they went after African Americans to blame on these white folks that actually did the killings. And this is why the daughter is so angry and wants us to come forward. She doesn't want these people to get away with this. So we're going to tell your story, okay? We're going to tell your story. We're going to share with everybody what you're telling me. And now what matters most now is that all these beings that were involved in this story you're telling me have moved on, okay? You're the only one that hasn't moved, because she's saying, I was the only one that was willing to see it for what it was. I was the only one willing to see the truth and see what was actually happening. I knew I would watch and hear things that my father didn't know I was watching and hearing, and I knew, and my mom covered this up, and I didn't want this to be covered up. Okay, so we will share all of that. What I want now for you is for you to understand that these souls are going to be dealt with, and that you no longer need to carry the burden, and you have alerted someone, and we are now asking you to find peace and to move forward. Are you ready for that? She's hang on, she's allowing her angels to come closer now. She's tired. She said, I'm tired. I've been here for so long. I'm so tired. Hang on. I'm watching right now as her angels come in, cover her, and they're just sitting right now. We're not sure where we're going. We're just sitting right now. She's just tired. I know she's saying she doesn't want to come back in the body. She doesn't like what the human race has been doing. It's okay. We can deal with that later. She's thanking you for hearing her. She's asking that you make sure that you continue to sharpen your intuition for other spirits that she knows. There's other beings actually in this building, but in general, there's other beings that need help. A lot of us, she's saying, are stuck in these realms, and it's let me interject. I want to interject. Human beings are stuck, okay? And whether you are in body or out of body, all of us, there's many people that are stuck. So I think it's important that we understand, and I'm explaining this to her too, as a young child, that just because we're stuck in the spirit realm doesn't mean we can't get out and move on and move forward. Just like when we're in body, we can be stuck. We can be stuck in bad relationships, stuck in bad jobs, stuck in bad situations. Same thing, okay? And so I want you to understand, I'm speaking to her, I want you to understand that it's okay, and that we can't save the world. We can't help all of them, because she's asking you, Beth, to really sharpen your intuition, which you should, so that you can hear others. And I agree with her. You are going to find that your path starts to increase in these photos, because your intuition is going to start, your higher sense is going to start to tap into these spirits that are stuck, and you're going to find that you're on a roll. You're going to be able to continually grab these photos the way you did. I've let Beth know that, but I want you to understand, I'm speaking to her right now, I want you to understand that we can't save everybody. We can't help everybody. We can only help one at a time. And every soul is going to have its consequence. It's going to go back to school. It's going to learn what it needs to learn in and out of body. It's not for you to stay stuck in thinking that that's somehow serving others, okay? What's serving others is that you heal and you move forward. This is allowing you to come back in the body. It's allowing you, if you choose, to stay and be guardians for others. But being stuck isn't serving anybody, okay? I have taken all your information. Beth has heard all your information, and we're going to do what we are supposed to do with it. We are going to tell this story, okay? Now I'm asking you to trust us, to trust that this will be told and you can move forward, okay? And Beth has heard everything. She's saying thank you again to you, Beth. Thank you so much. Please, please make sure you hear other spirits. Please don't ever let that go. She's telling me to talk to you about how to strengthen your intuition. I will. Okay, so let's do this. Are we going to... She's getting ramped up again, and you can tell when I'm talking, it's like getting fast and angsty. I want to bring this back down so we can move her on. They're lifting her up. They're lifting her up. It's so beautiful to watch this part. They're lifting her up. She's not crying. She's just curled up. The power of the angels is what makes me tear up. It's always intense. The power that lives there. She's gone. Mm-hmm. It's just space now. She's gone. Okay, I mean, hopefully you guys can go back and make sense of that, because that was pretty crazy. It was like all over the place, but I'll have to deal with the mother. I know they're telling me I have to deal with mom. I can't deal with her though on camera. I'll have to deal with her after. She's intense. She's pissed too. Too bad. And hoping her daughter stays stuck like that for so long. That's so messed up. Too bad. I'll deal with you when I have time. That is messed up. All right, I'm coming back. One sec. Okay. All right. Questions, comments?
Woo.
Can I don't know. How do you come out of that?
Right now, I actually got butterflies, and my heart's racing a little bit because I want to tell you now about the EVP in the basement. And I think that there's a chance that what you said and what we got in that basement connect. Okay. So what we were getting in that basement was a man came through, and he basically told us, he said that he was in love with this woman. He didn't really clear. I can't remember if he cared. I think he said it was a girlfriend or a wife. I'm not sure. I mean, I can't remember all of that. I'm pretty sure but she was killed by him. He said he said I killed her. I took her life, and I know you said her dad was involved, and he still could have been. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who they are. I will tell you, there's some pretty wealthy families here in Amarillo. I was curious, did you pick up with that family, even like a first letter of a last name or anything like that?
I'll answer that question in a sec. Let me go back. So the the father killed the mistress. We were talking to the father's daughter.
Okay.
And then mom is who was so the man you spoke with, we were speaking with his wife and his daughter. And then he killed his mistress.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we could never get it clarified. Was this your wife or a girlfriend? We can never get a specific answer on that. He kind of just danced around it. And we actually heard an audible voice, too, of a man, too, while we were down there.
Because he was cheating on him. So, so that's, you were speaking to dad. I was speaking to daughter. I removed mom. He killed mistress.
Okay.
This wasn't like, that's why they were saying this wasn't a serial killing, because he did it to cover up stuff and what have you. So it's not like he's a, Charles Manson type. And he had her killed.
Okay.
They're pulling me back from that. Maybe not. He might have actually done it. So I'll leave it there. Okay, so your question then was, God, no. See, this is a thing, is that mother was, so that mom was blocking so heavy. That's why I moved away from getting specifics, because I wanted just to help the daughter, because I was trying to do what was right. Now, I'm not going to ask for specifics, because I'm going to respect the daughter, and I also have to deal with this mother who may torment all of us if I pry too deep.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth it.
Okay.
But let me say one more thing that's coming through my guides. The names. It's interesting timing that your dog barked.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Your dog is barking because right when your dog started barking is when mom said she'll come after you. So that's not a coincidence. Your dog was feeling that.
Yeah, because usually he's barking at something out the window when he's not looking out the window.
Yeah, he's barking at her. Shh. Okay. I literally have to hold my hands up to keep her away. She's just intense. She's not intense. She's just mean. Listen, it's not our problem. Okay, I'm actually about to get into a fight with this woman, which is not the right thing to do. So hold on. So you may be able to get information. If you want to, if you're intrigued by the story and you want to get information, you can. This is what I'm being told. And I will let you know if I can't manage this mother, and if she starts to, make her way towards you, then you'll need to put this to rest. But right now, I'm being told that you can do what you need to do. It might be important if you decide to follow through. Okay. What's your dog's name?
Justice.
Is that a coincidence? Did anyone else see the connection there? Justice? The daughter wanted justice to be served? That's bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's born on the 4th of July, so we went with something, American-ish or whatever. I don't know. Middle name's July, so.
It's funny. I'm just going to sit here and hold this spirit while you guys can tell me what else you want to know. My arm gets tired. I might have to stop, but go ahead.
Okay, so I just know there's a lot of prominent, well-off families in this area. So it just makes me wonder if that have had pasts that, were swept under the rug, just kind of brushed off because of their power and money here in Amarillo. And so I was just kind of curious if it was to do with any of those families. There's about 3 big families in Amarillo with the money.
So I'm hearing 40 years ago this happened.
Okay.
So that would put us at what, 1980?
No, because I'm 40. Well, I'm 43 and I was born in 77. So probably the early 70s, maybe. Wouldn't it?
Okay. You have 3 families. You can tell me, do you have their names?
Yes. There's one family called, they're the Wares, W-A-R-E.
Okay, who else?
And then there's Harrington, the Harrington family. And the Wittenberg family. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm going to put him out real fast because I don't want him to. Come on, Justice. But those are the 3 families that are real well. And I think that the Herring family had a lot to do with that building.
Is that the second name you said?
Yeah, the Harrington.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So I'm just curious. I don't know how much involvement they had. I mean, I'm not saying they were they might have been part in funding the building, but I think that building was built in the 20s. So I don't know. I'm just curious because of the way you said about the mom and the dad and kind of her personality, the mom's personality. Maybe, do you think she comes like
that second family you mentioned? It's okay. Let your dog bark. She's Is Justice a male or female?
He's a male.
He's a male. Yeah. He's doing the same thing I'm doing, just in his own version. The Harringtons, they weren't directly involved, but there is a awareness of this story, actually.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Are you meaning they knew about it? Maybe somebody in the family knew about it?
There's an awareness of this. Like, that's what I'm being told. There's an awareness.
Okay.
And there's just the continued cover up. It's just like, that's just what you do. Like, that's what I'm being told. That's just the continued cover up. It's just they've accepted that's just what you do. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. So you think the male spirit was probably the dead? Okay, so that's interesting because whenever we did that EVP session, I was thinking, I didn't know what to think, to be honest, really who the people were. But he said, I killed her and I loved her, but I had to. Pretty much is what he told us. He didn't have a choice.
Right.
So then whenever you said that, when you were saying what you're saying about the mom and how she acted and all, kind of, she's acting towards you, maybe like, do you feel like she's kind of like hoity-toity kind of, like she, do you know what I'm saying? How that she had the air about her?
Well, yeah, I mean, they actually took her away.
Okay.
If you notice, your dog stopped barking the same time my hand came down. Even in the afterlife, she's just a bitch because all she cares about is reputation. She doesn't care about anything or anyone else. She didn't even care about her daughter. That's why she was keeping her daughter there. She just cared about, she wanted the reputation and the money. That's all that mattered to her.
That makes sense. I mean, it does because they are, what I can contribute to those 3 families kind of had the Kennedy feeling, like the Kennedys, they were, and that's how this kind of, was West Texas Kennedys. So
for sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, well,
everyone's gone now. So,
okay.
Whatever research you want to do, they're saying you can. They took her away, kicking and screaming. Like, she's literally kicking and screaming.
She wants to talk.
She doesn't want anyone talking about anything. She's got issues. I found it fascinating that Justice felt her being pulled away the same time I did. That was like bizarre. I'm assuming, Rick, you're able to see that. Like, my hand came down the same time the dog Justice stopped barking. That was such a trip. Anyway, Okay, I know,
Well,
Rick,
thank
you
you.
have. Yeah, of course, that was a lot of fun. We can do the second picture another day because I know, Rick, you've got work to get back to,
So,
right?
my goodness. How about that for an interesting case, to say the least? So, apologies for audio difficulties. We missed just a tiny amount of detail there at the beginning of that, but wow.
That's okay.
That's
She was intense.
well, and I guess for everyone who has either joined while we were doing this, that was a pre-recorded interview with Beth Huffman, who reached out to us. She had a picture. This was at a hotel, Amarillo, Texas. It was a shadow figure that was in the hallway. Thank you, Mary. Yes, indeed, that was awesome. So we've had some folks who definitely have had a couple of questions along the way here, but this started out as a picture, and then it became this entire like saga. This was like some paranormal episode of Dallas here, basically, even though this is Amarillo. Tried to make some kind of Texas drama correlation there. But yeah, so I know that you don't necessarily in that moment remember all the nuances and details, but just that experience basically in digging into that. I mean, any thoughts now that you were actually able to see that again, Maryam?
Yeah, just the it's the similarities between the afterlife and in body are really fascinating. What we won't let go of even when we pass on versus what we will let go of, and how people you still have to work your shit out. Like whether you are in body or not, like you still will be held accountable for it. And even if you choose to stay in, if you want to call it purgatory or just halfway in between and not pass over, you're at some point you're going to have to deal with it. So you can pass over now or pass over later, but either way it will be dealt with and someone will be dealing with you. That's the moral of that story.
Right. There was a question, and actually I'd mentioned to Mary, who asked it. She was wondering about the time frame, and at the end there, I thought I recalled us at least touching on it at some point. And so basically, around 1980, basically would seem to be about when things were going down there.
Yeah, for time frames for me are not that. That's not my specialty, but yeah, that's about where we landed with it.
So moving on into the next portion of the show, actually, we do have Lorraine Lloyd has requested.
So Lorraine, give me a question. Give me something specific, and I can knock it out. I'm going to try and pull you up on here as well to see if I can see your picture. Hang on one sec. I had it pulled up and then I lost it. I just want to see Lorraine. Oh, can you put was her face there in her comment on her question? I mean, in her comment, so I could, oh, there she is. All right. Let me see if it lets me click on it. Has my cat reunited with my mom? Oh, there you are. What's your cat's name? Lorraine Lloyd. While you're getting back to me, let me see. Has your cat reunited with your mom? Yeah, actually, it wasn't immediate. It took Mr. Tom. Yeah, it took a couple. I don't even know how to reference time in the spirit world, but it didn't happen immediately. But she's showing me that they're together now. Actually, they're together because they work to support you together. So they weren't together right away because there was there's the spirit has to go through some processing. So for some people and some animals, there's an immediate connection, and for some, there's processing that has to happen. And so he went through some processing and has now connected with your mom. and actually saying they are going to be working together to be looking over and supporting you. So make sure you grieve, make sure you grieve, make sure you allow yourself to experience the loss, feel the pain, go through all of that. And know that you now have two guides. And I do want to stress that not every single animal and every single human in our life is going to be our guide. They are, we all end up reconnecting, right, at some point, but we don't always stick around and support those loved ones for many, many reasons. But in this situation, you have two now. So they are absolutely there. Call on them when you need them. Okay. Rick, do we have another one? Love a reading if possible. Am I on the right path in a business sense? Rob, let's see. Okay. Rob, you're on the right path, but hold on with that. I'm shuffling my cards just for some backup. You're on the right path, but make sure that in this situation, we always want to gravitate towards what brings us joy, but not everything. Hold on, let me back up. We always want to gravitate towards what brings us joy, but understanding that conflict, hardship, roadblocks, all these things are important and necessary, and we don't want to veer away from them. Different times in our lives, we will be asked to have different experiences. So there's going to be moments in our life where we are going to be challenged. We're going to need to figure out how to get around that wall, figure out how to climb that hill. And then there's going to be times where you're going to be asked to move towards joy. And in this situation, with you, this was from Rob. You are being asked right now to make sure that you continue to move towards joy. So even though you're on the right path, what that means, even I'm trying to get a little bit clear for you. Don't make decisions because it's the right business decision. Don't make decisions because it's the right thing to do. It's what people say you're supposed to do. Now, there's going to come a time where you are going to have to make decisions because they're the right business decision. But right now, today, they're saying they want you to kind of adjust your energy so that you're making choices that are more joyful. You're making choices that follow your heart because you want that combination of heart with business, not all business. And so, yes, you're on the right path, but keep that in mind for now. Okay, that make decisions that come from the heart, that come from joy in the next few weeks. Okay. Who's next? Pam. Pam, what's your question? I've got my iPad down here, so that's why I keep looking down. Let's see what we got. Okay, good, Rob. I just saw your response. Okay. Pam, what's your question? So yeah, guys, just make sure when you comment, give me something specific that I can jump into and go from there, okay? Let's do my life path. That's a loaded question, right? So, Pam, my life path. Fair enough. I asked you to give me something specific. So that's a loaded question because I can't tell you why you're here. That's something for you to determine, but I can help you get closer. Let me see. I'm looking at your picture. I'm not staring at you guys in a weird way here. Pam, you gotta, so first and foremost, Pam, there's some there's some skeletons in the closet, if you will, past demons, not literal demons, but just kind of personal demons. They're saying they want you to go backwards before you go forwards, okay? They want you to look, there's some stuff that happened. I mean, we all have stuff in our past, right? That's a given. But they're saying before you can go forward, you have to close and resolve your past. You haven't done that yet. You have worked on it, you have come really close, and you've come very far, but they're saying your life path is here. They want you to go back, and then you're going to propel forward from it. It feels like, is there an ex-husband or a husband or a male figure that you need to close the door with? You need to, or maybe it's a boss or something that you need to make amends, whether it's just for you or for the both of you. That's going to then propel you back onto your path of why you're here, what you're supposed to be doing. Those answers will live there, if that makes sense. The answer to your life path lives in going backwards, making this connection, healing it, and then you'll be propelled forward. I'm seeing animals. And not necessarily saying your life path revolves around animals, but that will be playing, like it may be something, it could be that it's your spirit guides that are animals, or actual animals, but they're saying they want you to resolve some stuff, and then you'll be able to move forward again. Sorry, they're not giving, it's kind of a loaded question. It's kind of a bigger question. But that, hopefully you can hone in on that and start to look forward. Okay. Will I ever see my youngest brother again? He's in foster care in another state. I haven't heard from him in about 7 years. I can't find him, but I'm still looking. What's your brother's name, Graham? Stacy? Okay. Hang on. I'm working on it. What's hard for you guys is you are soulmated. So will you be together again? Hands down, yes. You're twin spirits. You're all those words that we use to say that you guys travel together, meaning different lifetimes. Right now, it's really important. There's a reason for your separation. There is growth that he has to experience on his own. See, you guys are twin souls. You've gone through so many lifetimes together, but there has to be this lifetime was about you guys learning life separate. That was part of the plan. And yes, it's painful, and it's painful. I feel you, literally feel you. I understand. Trust that this is how it's supposed to be. You guys were supposed to separate. Will you be coming back together in this body, in this life? I'm hearing the number 34. It's feeling like maybe it's an age for somebody, more than not like 34 years, but it feels like there's an age that may be a time frame. I feel like there is energy there to bring you together this life. The best way to make that happen is for you to really stay focused on what you are supposed to learn during this separation, what you are supposed to learn about you, why you're here, who you are as an individual, separate from Stacy. but you guys are soulmated, so you will absolutely be together, hands down. That's not an issue. As far as, to be clear, this life, I do, but I feel like it's down the road. It's farther down the road. Okay. Good luck to you, you guys. That's a hard one, Graham. I understand.
Maryam, we've got, I think, about 3 more. So
Okay.
I don't know if you wanted to try to maybe save those, or if we'll just go ahead and tackle them. Since
we can knock them out real fast. We'll go fast.
Okay.
I've lost many, plus my mom within a few months. It's been a while now, but wanted to know if mom happy with my dad and why I lost so many at one time. Is mom happy with dad, and why is mom happy with dad, and why you've lost so many at one time? You have actually an interesting similar situation, but this is what's called like a soul cluster, with you and the people that you've lost. And the what we forget is we think of the word soulmate or twin souls or soul clusters, and we think, oh, we're going to be together forever and it's going to be so happy. That's not the case, because the soul, each individual soul, still has to develop and learn and grow on its own. It has its own life path, and those things have to be achieved independently, as well as with the help of others. And so, you know, you were in a soul cluster that kind of broke up, which is why you lost a lot at one time, was because it was time for that individual processing to take place. Is your mom happy with your dad? Yes. Yes. I just heard yes. Okay, who's next? I know we're running out of time. I think I'm okay, but I feel like I'm missing something. You think you're okay, but you're feeling like you're missing something. Tina, I'm assuming you mean in life. You feel like you're missing something in life. I laugh because we're never missing anything. It's turning on that awareness, realizing that everything we need comes from within, not from outside ourselves. Not waiting for that, not waiting for something out there to tell us what's going on in here. Hang on though. Tina, wow, we're getting an influx. This is so odd. In all my years of reading, I've never experienced this. We're getting an influx. Tina, were you a twin, or did you lose a sibling? Or because I'm feeling that you lost your twin soul too, or your twin spirit, like your soulmate. I'm feeling another. That's why you feel like something is missing, because you lost something in this life. And whether you literally lost that person or animal and you understand what that is, or you came in with the loss, that's why you feel you're missing something. But don't let that cloud why you're here and what you're supposed to do while you're here. The fact that you've come in and are carrying this feeling like something's missing is part of the journey. You got to figure out what that is. If it's not, meaning, I know you've asked me, but meaning if it's not something really specific, then this is a past life where you've lost someone and you didn't bring them in this lifetime, and you thought you would. You thought you'd come back in together, either as siblings or partners or something, and you didn't. And so determining what they're saying, that you get some information in your dreams, and your dreams will give you some more information on who that person is and what that was. And that's going to fill this gap of feeling like something's missing, and that will put you back on your path. I'm just now reading your message. I replaced a sister. Okay, well, there you go. It sounds like you need to do some soul searching with your family to find out your sister, who she was, what she was about, and maybe even communicate with her intuitively. And that's going to clear that emptiness. Okay, last one.
Unless anyone wants to slide one in there. We've had a lot of feedback. Yep, but we actually cleared up the queue. So, wow, seems like we've had a lot of great feedback. Sorry, guys, I was not able to acknowledge all of your feedback in the chat, but it certainly will respond to it afterwards. Graham was also had a lot of good feedback, so we appreciate that. So and thanks for everybody. I guess one thing to mention now would be for next week's show, absolutely to go ahead and get that. I'm putting the scroll at the bottom right now. Basically, just the easiest thing to do. Maryam live at unexplainedcases.com. Have some type of question to go ahead and reach out there, so that we'll have that ready for next week. But yeah, any other parting thoughts before we sign off, Maryam?
Yeah, come back in a few hours. We're going to remote view that house. I'm very excited. We're going to see some crazy stuff. Come back in a couple hours. Unexplained Cases live. Next week, we'll have this tightened up. We'll do your pick a card. We'll answer questions. We'll talk to our case file. So come back.